Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be continuing my TBR for the Around the Year in 52 Books challenge. Of course, I will leave a link to the challenge down below if you're interested in checking it out and participating. As usual, there's a couple that I'm not sure about, so I'll definitely need some help with those. But yeah, let's just get started. So 27 is a book with a beautiful title, and for this one I kind of cheated a little bit because my edition doesn't have that title, but I chose the first book in the His Dark Materials series by Philip Pullman. I chose Northern Lights, but my edition says The Golden Compass because I'm American. But I think that the UK cover is very beautiful, I guess. It makes me want to read the book more. I definitely want to start this series this year. I've heard such good things about it, and I've heard it's one of those series, those middle grade series that everyone can get something out of, so I'm definitely excited for that. 27 is a biography, autobiography, or a memoir, and for this one I chose Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. Jenny Lawson is a blogger, a bloggess is what she's called, and she has extreme anxiety and depression, and so this book is kind of how she deals with those, as well as some other medical conditions that she has, and I really enjoyed it. I already read it. I think I gave it 4 stars out of 5 stars. It was so weird, but also fantastic. Number 29 is a book by an author who writes under more than one name, and for this one I chose Thors, Serpents by K.L. Armstrong and M.A. Marr. Both of those authors write under different names. K.L. Armstrong is Kelly Armstrong and M.A. Marr is Melissa Marr. That one accomplishes this twice, but if I wanted to I could also pick any book by Stephen King. These are all my Stephen King books right there. But yeah, so I could pick any of those as well, but I've already read this one, so check. Number 30 is a fairy tale from a culture other than your own, and there are tons and tons of these. There's a huge list. I've saved a couple of those just short fairy tales on my computer so I can read those at another time, just the actual stories themselves, but I would like to kind of get more into fairy tale retellings, so I'm gonna kind of tweak that one and have it be that. So number 31 is a work of young adult fiction, and for this one I chose Instinct by Sherilyn Kenyon. This is the 6th book, I think, in the Chronicles of Nick series, which is an urban fantasy series about a boy named Nick living in New Orleans, and he is part demon, so he has to deal with all of those kinds of things, and it gets him in trouble with other entities that are much more powerful than him. So it's definitely very interesting, and I think one of the best things about this series is how well that Nick treats women. I just think that it is so on point, and I think that a lot of young readers, male readers, should read this so that they, you know, treat women properly. And number 32 is a historical fiction book, and for this one I chose 1916 by Morgan Llewellyn. I just read this recently and I did really enjoy it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It's about a boy named Ned who gets caught up in the Easter uprising of 1916, and I just thought it was awesome. I thought it was really well done. It was very educational at the same time as being very entertaining, and I gave it 4 stars. So that one's also a check. Number 33 is the 16th book on your TBR, and I just went on Goodreads and clicked on my to read shelf, and the 16th book on that was Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I've been wanting to read this book for a long time. I watched the movie and actually really enjoyed it, so I definitely want to get to this and see what it's all about. And I've been told that you can read this book kind of as a standalone if you want to, so you don't actually have to commit to the whole series if you just want to read this one book. So I will probably end up treating it just as a standalone unless I absolutely love it or something. But number 34 is a book about mental illness, and for this one I chose Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman. The main character in this is suffering from schizophrenia or schizoactive, or kind of like a combination of those. It is so amazing. I did a book review for this and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Definitely recommend this one as well. I loved it. It was so good. Yeah. Number 35 is an award-winning book, and for this one it was such an easy decision. It was Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin O'Leary Sands, and this one has won 4 different awards, so yeah, that was the natural choice. It's about 2 boys just kind of growing up with their families and kind of coming to terms with who they are and being comfortable with that. And I think that the boys are gay or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I think they are though. I think this is considered an LGBT book, so that is also a little bit more diversity in what I usually read. I've heard that the parents' relationships with the children is really positive and really healthy, and so I'm really excited for that. Number 36 is an identity book, so basically a book that deals with a different culture, ethnicity, or sexual orientation, etc., something like that. And for this one I chose Shadows Cast by Stars by Catherine Knutson. This is a book about a girl who's an Aboriginal, and she discovers that she's immune to the plague in a world that the plague is running rampant and everything like that, and people want to capture her and kind of, I think, want to like steal her blood or something. Kind of weird, but yeah, definitely excited to read this one. It's a standalone, so it's not a a series or anything, and it's been on my radar for a very, very long time, so when I got it, I was really excited. Number 37 is a book where you've seen the movie of it, but you haven't actually read the book, and for this one I chose The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I watched the movie with my friend who'd read the book, and she was like so excited about it, and when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, I can relate to this character so much, and then at one point I was like, no, just kidding, I can't do that at all. But yeah, I've already read this book this year, and it was so good. I gave it 4 stars, I think. I had a couple of problems with it, mainly that the main character seemed way younger than he was supposed to be. He seemed like a 10-year-old when he was supposed to be 15. But I just think it's one of those really important staple books that everyone should read, and I'm glad that I have read it. Number 38 is a book about an anti-hero, and for this one I chose The Republican Thieves by Scott Lynch. The 2 main characters are thieves, but they have a code as well, so I just really, really love these books. I read the second one in January, so I'm very excited to continue with the series because I think the 4th one should be coming out this year. If the author is feeling well, he kind of pushed it back because he was dealing with some personal issues. I love John and Locke, they are so great. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading this one hopefully soon. This is kind of where my whole science fiction fantasy buddy reading group kind of originated. I was not on that train with them. I got added later, but this was like the staple book that they all read. So I definitely need to read it and catch up to the rest of them so that when the 4th book comes out, we can all read it together and have tons of fun. And the 39th number, and the last one I'll be talking about in this video, is going to be, I'm just going to read it because it's really long. A previous suggestion that did not make it onto the list. And for this one, I chose a book you can finish in a day with a title that starts with the word the, and I chose The Dark Side of Nowhere by Neil Shusterman. It's very, very short. It is only 200 and something pages. I can definitely knock that out in one day. So it's about a boy who's living in a town, and then things kind of go haywire, and he doesn't really know what's going on. It's a kind of a mystery, and he's trying to figure out everything and put it all back to being correct. I don't really know anything else besides that, but I love Neil Shusterman. I think he's an amazing author. I think that his stories are so rich with ideas that you can think about and kind of discuss with people if you really wanted to. Every single one of his books brings up some type of moral issue, and I just love that. So I'm definitely excited to get into this one. So those are going to be the 27th through 39th things that I'll be reading for this challenge. Let me know about the couple of things that I had questions on or needed some recommendations, and if you want to see the last part, let me know that as well. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.